The Pistons have had a busy offseason so far. Trajan Langdon acquired Tim Hardaway Jr. through trade. He has signed Tobias Harris and Malik Beasley. He has re-signed Simone Fontecchio, and he has just claimed Paul Reed off of waivers. There are two things that all of these guys can do. They can shoot the ball from three, and they're always available. They're always on the court, and they're never hurt. So the plan for the show today is to hit the film room for the very first time in Detroit sports talk history and look at how spacing affected Cade last season. And then we'll take a look and see how it may look different for him next season. So let's go ahead and break down some film.
And there's the snap. Blitz comes. Mayfield back. Loads. Throws. Picked up by the Lions. Intercepted by the Lions. Intercepted by the Lions. Derek Barnes. Derek Barnes. Derek Barnes. Reggie Miller. And it's blocked again. What a block.
Lead pass in for Larkin. In space for Raymond. And he scores! Lucas Raymond!
All right, so the first thing that I want to take a look at is you're going to see your typical Duren Cade pick and roll here. We're going to spread out with the three other people outside the arc. I personally, anytime that you have the Cade and Duren pick and roll, you should have both corners filled in and then somebody on the wing. Clear that lane up so that Cade can get to the lane. You have the option for the Duren lob, or if the defense kicks in, you want to be able to kick the ball back out to an open shooter. So what we're going to get here is a Cade and Duren pick and roll. Cade's going to attack Nurkic downhill. Sasser's going to move a little bit this way to space out. Asar's going to stay in this corner. Stu is already on his way to this corner, which is perfect. Get out the paint, spread the floor, get into the corner. When Cade attacks, he's going to end up coming this way past Nurkic, and I want you guys to watch KD in this. Watch the way that KD guards this because he's so far off of Asar that he's there to contest. Somehow Cade still gets the bucket. That's why he just got the max. But watch KD on this and look at how tough the spacing is inside the paint with Asar in the corner. Tough bucket. So he gets through that Duren pick and roll, right to left cross, but that's what I'm talking about here is just Durant. I mean, he is way, way, way in that paint, able to contest the three or the layup for Cade. And Asar, I mean, you got to give it to him. He's down there. He's ready to shoot. That's exactly what he should be doing, spacing the floor out. It's not his fault that he was put in this corner and wasn't hitting them at a high rate, but, you know, being able to hit Cade eventually, what that's going to look like next year is for him to be able to make that pass. You know, if this is Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley, Simone, Tobias, hell, Paul Reed, baby. You know, nobody is going to be sagging off us or any of those players like Kevin Durant is here. All right, next one. We're going to get a pretty similar look. Duren setting the screen on, looks like Brandon Miller. Cade's going to come around, and he's going to attack Grant Williams. Grant Williams is in drop defense, so Cade's going to hit the easy mid-range over Grant. That's easy money. Just like before, you need two guys in the corners. You need one guy on the wing. Don't cut. Don't do anything. Let the pick and roll work its magic. Let Cade get a bucket. Let Duren get a lob, or you're going to get an open three. Now, another reason why Trajan went out and got these guys who are known to be shooters. Now, this is Jaden Ivey's defender. Just so far off of him. So I want you to watch him the whole time. He just is down here in the paint, leaving Jaden wide open. Again, Jaden doing exactly what he should be doing. spreading the floor out, ready to shoot in case the ball comes his way. But in the event that Cade wanted to try to get to the rim here, it's already clogged up. The eyes, the attention are already on Cade. You need guys who have the gravity at the three-point line, like some of the guys that we brought in this summer, to be able to pull that defender this way. If you're going to play that far off of Cade, that's easy buckets. Perfect spacing. Could have hit Jalen on a short roll, but again, that guy's right. That guy's right here. You know, you got to have players who can come out and guard you at the three-point line. But love that Jaden's down and ready to shoot. That's perfect. This next clip, I'm going to steal a phrase from JJ Redick. JJ used a phrase on his podcast called spacing discipline. And I think that this play, this pick and roll set, is a perfect example of spacing discipline. So Bagley sets a good screen. Cade comes around, and he's going to attack Jimmy Butler. Now, Stu is going to end up here in the corner, Asar in the corner, and Jaden on the wing. Again, this is how I like pick and roll sets. I want two guys in the corners, one on the wing, and I want you to stay still, being ready to shoot based on how Cade can make a play here. So Bagley sets a good screen. He gets to attack a Jimmy Butler one-on-one. Cade coming downhill with flat-footed Jimmy Butler. I like that matchup for Cade to get to the rim. And then I want you to watch how everybody stays disciplined. They stay down. They stay ready to shoot, to let the play develop, to see what Cade can do at the rim. Everybody stayed out the paint. I love that part there. Let's go back to that with Bam reaching. So I like Bam here. He stays close enough to Stu because Stu is a shooter. Well, Stu can shoot the three, but he respects him enough in this possession that all he does is throw an arm out to Cade. So that's the reason about having guys who have gravity at the three-point line. Bam's not sliding all the way over into the paint. He just throws his arm up. All right, now I want to show you an example of what I think is poor spacing discipline. On this possession, J.I. seems to be like setting a quick screen or slipping a screen here. So he's going to roll. And then Jalen doesn't know what to do. He kind of is like, do I set a screen? Do I not? But Cade's going to work around this and end up attacking through the middle. But I want you to watch Asar and I want you to watch Jaden once they both cut through, because there's three people over here and they just don't know where to go. So I find this possession to be poor spacing discipline. J.I. cuts through. He's like, where do I go? Asar right now, where do I go? Bojan already on the wing / corner, but I'd rather him pick or choose. Get to the corner or get to the wing. Jaden turns around. Asar turns around. We have four people inside the arc right now. That should never happen. Granted, I do think Cade needs to take a second before attacking at all to like let these guys get set up. You know, now Asar is starting to crash for the offensive rebound. JD's cutting. Ivy's just realizing what's going on. So I do think that Cade maybe rushed this a little bit, but again, just too many people inside the arc. I don't think this is great spacing distance. All right, here we get an Asar pick this time. and Cade is going to turn the corner. I actually really like. I don't know if this is a Monty call or if Asar just set this pick, but looks like they have Lillard on Asar, which smart of the Bucks to put him, on Asar just because he's limited offensively. But Dame is not a good defender, so I like the fact that we're setting a screen here and getting the switch. Cade's going to attack this and get the and one on Lillard, but the spacing is really good here. So I want you to watch as Cade's attacking left. If he is going to make this pass, that pass is going to end up going to Stu in the corner, or it's going to be Sasser on the wing, possibly a JD cut down the middle. I just made a smiley face. Look at that. So let's watch the rest of this. Cade's going to attack and one, and let's see what kind of opportunities pop up because of the spacing. As Cade drives, Bobby Portis starts to drop in, which would leave Stu wide open. This is a great take by Cade, but the fact that you're generating two great looks on just a simple pick and roll is exactly what I think will be useful to Cade next year because of all the spacing that this possession has. Cade can easily make that pass. If it does hit Stu, Stu can then kick to Sasser because Connaughton would step up on him. The spacing is very, very good here, and I like that Duren didn't cut in, and it kept Lopez out as well. All right, on this one, we get the same pick and roll look, Cade and JD, but what really irks me on this, when Cade comes this way, gets to attack a center, that might even be B-Ball Paul. That boy's on our team now. Yes, sir. So as he attacks left, I want you to watch Stu. I have no idea what Stu is doing. Like, why is he down there right now? Why is he not here on this corner? Again, does Cade need to wait? Does he need to point? Stu, get out of there. Go get to the corner. He does not. And he's just going to end up like standing in this area and clogging everything up. So I think this is poor spacing discipline on Stu. Maybe Cade here needs to get him out before running this play, but let's watch Stu on this. So Cade's got to go with a step back here. Right now, he's looking straight at Tobias. Tobias is like, this is easy defense. I just get to stand next to Stu, and you're not going to come any closer to me. Easy way to, clog the paint up because his guy's standing right next to him. If Stu's out here in the corner, that's what we really want, right? The reason I want Stu here in this corner, let's say Tobias does drop to this and Cade can't get here because Tobias is there, you make that simple read to the corner three wide open. But instead, Cade, step back midi, and then up and under. I feel like I'm picking on Stu, but I'm going to do it again. Here's an Asar pick and roll. Stu, for whatever reason, is going to try to get in front of Evan Mobley and put a seal on him. I don't want Stu posting up on Evan Mobley ever. So I don't know why he tries this. I'd rather him get to that corner, space the floor, so that Jaden can then fill in on the wing here. And then you can run that pick and roll. And if somebody steps up, just like last time, right? Bobby Portis dropped. You're going to have that open three there. But I want you to watch how Stu clogs this up. Asar's going to roll. And this is the reason why sometimes people think Asar and Duren can't play together. Jarrett Allen, very smart defender. He knows Duren isn't going to shoot this. He drops back. He clogs the paint up. Stu, coming from this side, he clogs the paint up, and it just gets real messy in there, and this is terrible spacing discipline. Let's see it. It's just busy. It's busy in that paint. Jarrett Allen, he's already sagging down. Asar's got nowhere to go. Stu, why are you trying to post up right here? You think Cade's going to make this pass? Get into the corner. Bring Mobley out there. If Mobley stays in the paint, you're open at the three-point line. I also like transition spacing. There's a way to space out in transition as well to create open lanes, and this is a perfect example of that. AB heading to the corner, veteran shooter. Bullion heading to the corner, veteran shooter. These guys are going to stick with them. Cade's pushing, Duran's pushing. We're going to end up with a lob to Duran. Now, when we get to this pass from Cade, here's what I want you to watch. We're going to get this lob here. If you watch this guy, Cade right now is looking at AB, and then he throws this no-look lob to Duran. So he's moving the defender with his eyes. The defender is reading Cade. He goes to play AB instead of cutting off Duran like he was originally supposed to, and that's what creates this lob opportunity. But this only works if they're spacing out in the corners, which is what everybody's doing. Even J.I. here. J.I.'s coming in to fill in on the wing. I love that too. Filling in. Watch this pass. Watch this guy. Watch this pass. He's cutting in front of Duran. Sees Cade going that way. Whoop. Steps back. Lob wide open. And then he stood afterward like, yeah, you got me. You got me. So this possession is kind of in transition. I don't really know exactly what happened beforehand, but Cade's bringing it up. You're going to see Stu try to post up on Draymond again, and you're going to see Asar. Maybe he thinks a lob is coming from Cade, but Cade can't really get there because Stu's in the way. And then Cade ends up attacking from this side with Asar and Stu both in the lane, just making the paint way more clogged than it needs to be. This is poor transition spacing discipline. He's attacking, Draymond's right there, right? And that's because Stu put him there. He backed him up in there. Curry's in the paint too. We're clogging all of this up just because we didn't get out to space the floor. There's a time to post up. There's a time to think for the lob. I do like Asar realizes it and tries to start getting out of the paint. But like what I just don't know why we're trying to get in front. We're clogging the lane up. Get out of there, get to the three-point. Last one because we gotta end on a good one, but this is another transition. A bunch of young guys, actually. I just realized that. All right, so Stanley, Amudier, running to the corner. He's a shooter. He knows how to fill in. We've got Asar, who we know is that lob finisher who's heading towards the rim. And Sasser, he knows Asar, right? Asar is to the left. He knows Asar is heading towards the rim. So I like that Sasser's going to get here. Choppy feet, and he's going to settle in right on the wing, letting Asar go towards the rim. And we get the classic Cade no-look pass to Asar for the lob. Need more of that. I want to look at this no-look pass again. So I love, again, take a look here. Sasser, choppy feet. He's settling in. Stanley, instead of running, I actually love this. I just noticed this. He's turning, right? He may have thought he was going that way, and then he turned. His body is turned now, heading towards the corner because the train's coming through. And again, we're going to look at this no-look pass. He's going to try to pull Shaedon Sharpe to Sasser. Right? He's trying to pull Shaedon by looking this way, but Asar, throw it to only where he can get it. He's going over Shaedon on his head. And that is it for this episode of Detroit Sports Talk. the first ever film breakdown in the show's history. Be sure to like today's show, subscribe to the channel, comment below your thoughts on the film breakdown, and be sure to follow me on Twitter at Bobby Buckets. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.